In 2018, ONTV celebrates its 30th year of providing public access television to the Lake Orion community. To tell the story, we have to go back to the beginning. Oh, wait a second, not that far back. Okay, that's more like it. In the mid-1980s, Orion Township and the village of Lake Orion formed a cable study group made up of representatives of the township, village, Lake Orion Community Schools, and the Orion Township Library. The study group researched the possibility of bringing cable television to Lake Orion. They met with representatives of cable companies and other communities and made recommendations to the township and village.
I saw a thing in the Orion Review that they were looking for people to serve on a study group to explore the possibility of bringing cable into Orion Township.
Throughout the study group and the early days of the commission is we all looked at this, that cable is going to bring in HBO, it's going to bring in TBS out of Atlanta and WGN and the Chicago Cubs, and then we started hearing about this thing that says, well, how about public access? How about an institutional network to serve your school system? And we started thinking, what is all this about?
The community has truly benefited from all the things that we have here in the studio and the ability to do shoots off site and really get a whole sense of a community feeling here in Orion that's uniquely ours and not just part of a big group.
They're all set. You know, these people picked a great time to get cable TV because right now I'm installing cable TV at special savings.
As a result of the Cable Study Group's research, a cable communications ordinance was adopted and a 15-year franchise was signed in December of 1984 with Tribune United Cable. This franchise agreement between the cable company and the village and township allowed the cable company to operate in Lake Orion under certain conditions. The Orion Community Cable Communications Commission was established as a result of an agreement between the village of Lake Orion and Orion Township. The Cable Commission is made up of 2 township elected officials, 2 village elected officials, 2 township residents, 2 village residents, and 1 member jointly appointed by the village and township. The duties of the Cable Commission include making sure the cable company is in compliance with the franchise agreement. One of the conditions of the franchise agreement was to make sure the cable company provided access channels to the community. These channels included public, government, and educational access channels. Known as Orion Community Television, or OCTV, the public access studio offered video production classes to residents of the Orion community and offered the facilities and equipment that allowed producers to create their own TV shows to air on local cable television.
There was this thing called community access, and we thought, what's that?
The very first studio was in the professional building behind Eva's.
And that's where you took your classes?
And that's where we took the classes.
Wow.
And spent the time. And then, of course, eventually we moved further south into the studio that we had there for a long time. And now, of course, we've moved again to here.
When the commission was established, it was agreed between the village president at the time and Joanne Van Tassel, who was the township supervisor at the time, that any revenues gained from the cable franchise would go towards the operations of the local television activity here.
I thought public access was like the whipped cream on top of the sundae or sprinkles on top of your ice cream. I mean, to me, it was an opportunity to bring the community together, to let various voices be heard, to engage people. And quite frankly, I think it was a dynamic that helped grow the community, that helped foster a spirit of togetherness.
So I got involved with public access in Lake Orion when I was a sophomore. at LOHS, and I was in the introductory broadcasting classes, and my teacher, Mr. Saunders, talked about an internship that was coming available that summer through TCI and public access. And so I applied for the internship and got it going into my junior year. And that was early 90s when I was able to start getting involved in public access.
Last Friday night, Orion traveled to Rochester Adams and won a nail-biter. After returning the ball to their own 23, QB Clint Bryant put the ball in the air.
Oh, I look back at my ONTV time so fondly, not only because of the experiences, but also because of the people. When I think back, like, I loved all of the different things that I got to go out. I got to be involved in an archaeology dig when they moved the Howarth Schoolhouse. So I mean, I got to go out and see all of these cool things in a town that I love. I mean, I'm a Lake Orion kid. I graduated from Lake Orion. I started my school career in Lake Orion, and now I've come full circle, and I live in Lake Orion, and I'm raising my daughter here. And so I got to celebrate everything that this town has to offer. But most importantly, I got to be a part of it with the people. And so that's, when I think back to ONTV, I loved all the production. I loved that I got to continue to pursue my passion. But what I really, really loved was getting to work with all of the volunteers and the kids and being able to kind of share this thing that I was passionate about and help educate others and let them have a voice, because that's the great thing about ONTV, is that it gives people a voice. Anybody can get involved. Anybody can produce programming, and they can get the things that they're passionate about out into the community.
I hope to accomplish having a place where people could come and make video, anything that they wanted to. I also looked at it as a place to provide information about Lake Orion and cover events in Lake Orion, because it was Channel 4 covers things in Detroit and big cities and all that, but nobody comes out to do things like the Battle of the Books at the library, that kind of thing. So cover community events and give residents a place to come and create video and make it a comfortable, inviting place to be.
Park Road in the Trout Lake unit is popular with bicyclists who wish a short, pleasant ride on a paved road that winds through scenic woods and vistas, as well as for those riders who wish a jumping-off point for the 15 miles of more advanced, unpaved trails found throughout the park. Four-legged visitors are welcome too, as long as they are under proper control.
Cup of apples. These are not peeled. You can leave the peelings on them. Won't hurt a thing.
Hello and welcome to Orion Outlook. I'm Lori St. Germain. Tonight we are fortunate to have with us the Lake Orion Village Manager, John Birchtold. He will educate us and update us on issues currently facing the village. Thanks for being here, John.
There are new worlds to explore. There are new worlds to explore. There are new worlds to explore. There are 5 new worlds.
Welcome back to Scouts About. We had a great summer. My troop went to Mackinac Island for 3 days. After the ferry ride over, we took a carriage tour, toured the fort, and we also took an 8-mile bike ride all the way around the island. Some of us experimented with tandem bicycles, although they're not as easy as they look.
And at Christmas Eve, you know what I get to do?
You bring toys.
I get to fly around with the stars.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's fun.
Bring me a balloon one, please.
You want one? You want me to bring you a star?
Uh-huh.
Thank you for joining us on Conversations with Jacqueline.
Not only could cable subscribers view a wide variety of entertaining community programming, but over time they were able to watch Orion Township board meetings, village council meetings, and school board meetings live on the air.
Well, one thing, the first thing we've shown so far is an impact on the council members themselves. They've seen themselves now, from the tapes and that. They're aware that they're on stage, and I don't mean that negatively. I mean the fact that we notice that they dress a little sharper. They seem to be a little more alert to each other, and so forth, and they seem to be a little more prepared to debate and be communicative with the people that come to attend the meeting.
In 2000, the original franchise agreement came to an end. At that time, a nonprofit organization was formed to continue to provide public, government, and education access to the community as Orion Neighborhood Television. ONTV continued to offer video production training as well as the equipment and facilities necessary to produce community programming. In 2012, after more than 2 decades in the same location on Lapeer Road, ONTV moved into its new home in the Orion Center on Joslyn Road.
I just can't believe it's happened. After we've been actively really looking for a place for probably 5 years, and we've been really looking for a place for 15 years altogether, something like that, maybe 20 years even. And for it to finally happen, it's kind of amazing.
Well, obviously we're real happy that we're here. It's been a long time coming. We've been talking about it as an organization for many a decade, and to have it finally happen and be here and it's real is very exciting. We're all just so happy to be in a new place, new facility, and hopefully have a brand new fresh start here for ONTV.
In June of 2012, a ribbon-cutting ceremony was held to officially open the Orion Center and the ONTV studio to the community. ONTV invites you to take advantage of the training, facilities, and equipment that allow you to produce your own television programs. New for 2018 is the Radio Room, which allows producers to create their very own podcast recordings. For more information on how you can get involved, call 248-693-3377 or visit orionontv.org.